How's it going, Maria? Awesome. Okay, yeah. So we're on YouTube right now. Daniel, you there? Cool. Awesome. Here, let me add my. I wanted to add my back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We. What do you think is better? Should I do the background? Yeah, I'll do the background. Is it is it is the orientation good? Awesome. Yes, please. Maybe in the dip catcher one. If you just post it there. Um, okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, this is a crazy week. I mean, every week is crazy. It's not like this week is any more crazy than any other week in crypto. You know what I mean? It's pretty funny. Awesome. Mhm. Oh, nice. What kind? What kind? Oh, yeah. What do you like customizing your own computer and stuff? Like with, yeah, you can't see my water bottle. We're gonna this episode sponsored today. uh, the state of New Mexico is one of our my water bottle. Um, let's see. I just sent out the link. Here, I'm gonna put it in my Instagram bio, the YouTube link, and then people can just watch it there. Let's start here. Um, oh, and then open up the. I know her sound was great. Like we should like have her do like a whole a whole podcast on the topic. Like she described it. It was so natural. Like yeah, it's like she like. Let's see if that works. I'm pulling it up on YouTube. Awesome. Yeah, it worked. Okay, I'm gonna go live. great. Okay.
Tendrás unas 65 como mínimo. Ahora no puede porque está indispuesta. Es perfecta. Chica, llegó el momento clave. Doña Blanca, prepare todo para venga.
One of these times we'll have to figure out how to do it. One of these times we'll have to figure out how to like do it over Instagram Live.
Just imagine a life of us together into it. Just imagine all of our dreams coming true. Just imagine everything that we're gonna do. Yeah, just imagine every day is just me and you. Just imagine the sky that will always be blue. Just imagine nothing girl that we couldn't do.
Whose music is that? I'm digging it. Marina. the theme song. Oh, was that I thought that was like kind of like the elevator, like waiting room music. I was while we're sending out the links to everybody. All right. And then okay, one more set of links. Yeah, we're starting at 6:40 probably is when we had too much to talk about, but we didn't even get set up. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna email this to a handful of people. Oh, that was great elevator music. All right. If you're on live right now, thanks for joining us. We're just sending out the link to the last couple people that are our regular guests. Just give us a moment. We're going to get started. A lot of exciting topics to discuss today. Just craziness. It's the Wild West out here, and there's never a dull moment. So in one moment, we will be getting started. So Danny, I'm actually going to message you this or copy a handful of people that we're going to send it out to. And could you just email this from somewhere? All right, let me. I forget there were some people. I didn't have the automatic email with this week's link in it. So there's like we had some signups through the website, and so let's. Just pulling up this list. Okay, so here I'll send you over this list of people right now. And here, let's just go ahead here. There are going to be duplicates on this list, but you can send it out. There's so many. That was, I don't know how, if not, it's fine. They can see it on the Instagram. Okay. All right. Thank you. Awesome. So sorry for the delay. Everyone is with us on Zoom. It looks like it's just three of us. Colleen and JC are unable to join us. There are other two co-producers and guests of honor, and just overall, I'm really thankful because the people who've been joining us on Zoom really helping get the ball rolling on this. We've created some awesome content, found some really cool opportunities, and we've learned a lot every week that we've gotten together here. So thanks for those that join us on Zoom, and then thanks everyone joining us on YouTube. We've been doing that live. We've been getting some great interaction from people from some of our past live streams. So we can we're going to start doing these more live on YouTube. So thank you all for joining us. Today we're going to try to just cover a couple of topics. One is the Bitcoin, like if you're looking at the charts, the Bitcoin price is gone down a lot. Ether's gone down a lot. Everything, big sell-off happened the last couple of days. How do you know when the bottom is in, and how do you know like when to start buying, and what's the best way to do that? So we're going to cover that. We're also going to cover this big topic that we've talked about in the past, but there's been kind of like a resurgence of it, and that's this whole concept of yield farming. And part of that, we're going to be looking into some of the borrowing and lending solutions that are happening on Ethereum, because we talk a lot about Nexo, but Nexo is like a private, centralized entity. But now there's, these like, lending solutions that are part of this whole yield farming phenomena that we're going to be talking about, and talking about how we can, use that as a tool to help us catch dips in the price like we're seeing right now. And then also what we're going to be talking about is just like how to avoid scams, or how to avoid even things that are really just like, pump and dumps. Like, you don't want to be the one buying the top of like, these crypto pump and dumps that you might see. So we're just gonna be talking about just like, how to assess new things that are, for day one coins, because there's all these opportunities in these day one coins, but there's also a lot of risk. And so we're just going to talk about just some like common things to look out for, and just like how to avoid, losing the farm, trying to build a yam farm when the rug gets pulled. So we're going to be talking about that. So why don't I just start by sharing my screen, and then we'll get right into it. And Daniel, if you see any questions roll in on the YouTube live, after we cover like the main topics, maybe we can just come to those. So we can just do that. Hey, excellent. Who wants to have an anxiety attack right now? Oh my gosh. Yeah. How about that? Well, no, look at my, do you see my screen? Do you keep your desktop clean, or? That's funny. I like that doesn't even faze me. Like having like, because it's not, I don't really think in terms of like what's on my desktop. Like anything I want, I just type up here in the search, and I just go straight to it. So I don't like hierarchy of like files really doesn't mean much to me. Like, All right. So awesome. Thank you. All right. So this week was pretty crazy. Major sell-off across a lot of the major markets. So like Bitcoin, just in this past week, down 10%. So really not that crazy. Like all things considered, like, that's nothing. Like, especially when you've been like kind of watching the DeFi space where you don't measure things in percent, you measure things in X. So like a 10% sell off, like literally that's nothing. Like, that's not even that big of a dip. Like look at some of these other dips that we've had. Like, all things considered, maybe we're kind of overstating how much this dip was. Maybe when you like zoom in on like, like a 4-hour time period, it can look pretty aggressive because it really is, big sell off, like, here on the 4-hour chart. When we look at this dip catcher the original dip catcher algorithm, which sign up for on dipcatcher.com, so you can, get these buy alerts whenever the price goes down. It's a good time to buy. This one's been signaling, this is like pretty strong. Like it's really deep into this like blue and purple zone, which are like prices only there for like 2% of the time. It's definitely, like a big sell off on these shorter time frames. But on like the longer time frame, price is still up in these, like, red and orange zones. And those are, prices only there 2% of the time. And so, like when price is high, this is a good time to like, wind down positions, pay back debt. You don't want to be, because the price is high. So like, you don't necessarily want to be buying with new dollars on these days. You want to be paying back debt. You want to pay back your credit card when price is high. You want to pay back loans that you've taken out where you've taken your crypto out, where you've used your crypto as collateral. This is when you want to be paying those back. You don't want to be doing that. And so, this dip right here, like we're still like up in this area, like all things considered. Like if you have any, crypto backed loans that you took out at any of these prices, like say below like 9,000, like this is still a great time to be paying that off. So like this dip really isn't that aggressive. But we're really actually hoping for a pretty aggressive dip. Like I want price to enter this blue zone because that's when like, that's when it's like very, very low risk to, go, to put a lot of money and extend leverage against your crypto you have as collateral. Like I'm totally fine with like buying, because just like a more aggressive strategy would have you like, starting to buy into this dip, starting on this 4-hour chart, because these happen more often because, these averages just, it's over a shorter period of time. And so price enters the buy zone on these 4-hour charts much earlier in the dip. Like, as we can see, like this first wave down right here, where the chart turns green. Let me make that a little bit more visible. Here where our dip catcher algorithm turns, let's make it like a brighter green. So these price levels where the background turns green, it starts like those start getting triggered on the 4-hour chart much earlier than the daily or the weekly chart. And that's just like the nature of like our dip catcher algorithm. So it's literally built for times like this. Like that's really the whole point of it, is that you want to be averaging in, you want to be making small buy orders throughout these dips. And that's when you want to build your position. You don't want to be buying at the top. Like you don't necessarily want to be buying up here. Like you want to be paying back, you want to be maybe selling to pay back debt, or you want to be, you don't want to be buying here. You want to be stockpiling your cash so that you have more chances to buy dips when price comes down here. So like on the daily chart, today was actually the first like daily email that went out. So on like the dip catcher alert, for the first time really in like over a month, it signaled a buy order on this, medium risk, like the daily chart, like it's still like like a medium risk one. But look, I mean, like if you would have bought on the last times that it signaled a dip, price had gone up something like 30%. From the last time that this signal went off, price went up 30%. And from the time before, price went up 148%. And so that's like like the power of buying in these low times, it just gives you more of a chance to be buying into like wherever the bottom is, because buying low is a lot easier way to compound your Bitcoin than selling high. Selling is a much harder strategy, but buying low is like the odds are just more in your favor, and so catching dips is really important. That's like the best way to compound your crypto wealth, is just buying when price is low, because you want to make the volatility work for you. Like many people stay away from crypto, like they write it off, like they they think it's too volatile, like they can't bear with it. But in reality, like volatility is your best friend. Like that's like your the tool that enables you to compound your crypto, because there's nobody whose job it is to stabilize the price, in things like Bitcoin or Ethereum or Hex. Like so what that means is that there's always good buying opportunities, because price, sometimes buyers get momentum and the price goes up, and then sometimes sellers get momentum and price goes down. And like you want to be buying from the people selling low. Like you want to be buying from the people who panic sell the bottom of like coronavirus, like panic. You want to be buying, people that are selling when they think that like, oh, the top's in. Like you want to be buying low. And so this is like days like this, like this is like this is like your time to shine and build up your crypto collateral. Because the more crypto collateral that you can build up, the more that you have, to use to borrow against it, to take very high risk trades, like some of these DeFi coins that that we've been talking about in the Telegram chat, the ones that go 3x overnight, 10x overnight. Like you want to have money to be able to take those high risk trades, but you don't want to put all your money into that. And so the best way to generate that cash is by having a strong crypto collateral base that when you see an opportunity, you can strike, and you're not going to take much risk. And even if you do, if the trade doesn't go your way, you can spread that out over longer periods of time. So that's really the whole point of like catching these dips in the coins that are strong collateral bases. So those are like Bitcoin and Ethereum, because they're very easy to borrow against. And so catching dips is like really important activity that's like actually pretty simple to do. And so the whole concept behind this is because like there's no algorithm or trading indicator that like knows when the bottom is in. Like that's like because the trading algorithms they're based on math, and like they're just based on like the previous price history. They cannot know what future demand will be. They can estimate it, but it only plays out once the trades are made, once the buyers and the sellers like meet and agree. So there's really no perfect algorithm, but the way that this one was designed was to enable you to just be buying at the best price that on average is around the bottom quartile of every 30-day period. So like in buying in like when the dip catcher signal goes off, it's not going to tell you like it just went off. Like price could continue to dump like very low. Like this doesn't tell you where the bottom is, because that's impossible to know. There are some things you can look for that kind of can give you some hints, that maybe the sellers are running out of energy, but no algorithm is going to tell you exactly when the bottom is. But the whole idea behind this is that you want to average in as price takes each step down. So right now, like price took a step down, you want to place some orders in here so that, when, if price hits them, then you have a buy order at this low price. And by buying when price is down here, what that means is that you're buying lower than everybody before you in the previous month. And so that's pretty good. Like over this whole period of time, like, all of August, buyers were satisfied to buy at in between $11,000 and $12,000. Like price was up there for pretty high. So like a lot of people thought that was a fair price. Now price is 10% lower. And so you're at least buying better at a better price than everybody who bought in the month before you. And so, that's really kind of the best you can ask for, right? Like you can't predict the future. I can't predict the future. Like no one can. Some people might be able to, catch a good streak or be like more in tune with certain data that can help them inform their decisions. But you really can't count on predicting where the bottom is. So the whole, probably the best strategy is really just to average it. Just like price goes down, save up some money that you're earning in from other ventures or your job or anything else, like any other cash flows. Like when price is going up, you don't want to be panic buying into that. You want to be just saving up your dollars, so, paying back debt, building, just being ready to, building up some cash so that when dip catcher alert goes out, you can be in there buying, and so, and then, maybe this will, if price continues to go down, like say we, say on the chart, something like this, look like this, price goes down to like this level down here, where, price kind of like just bounced around on both sides of this level, like buyers and sellers fought over this $9,200 price. Like there's really not much holding price up from this level. Like price had kind of, bounced around from here. But once price enters back into this channel, many people will, count that in that we're at the top of this previous range. And that means that we're likely to test the bottom of this range. And so if price, breaks down through this $10,000 level, we'll probably see, price come down and do some type of, movement, like, we might see some type of like squeeze in this channel. And, so like, if that happens, the dip catcher algorithm is going to be telling, like, I can kind of tell what it's going to do based on, just because I can kind of because I know what the math is. But it's probably going to be, like we'll see probably a couple days of this like green, like, so if you sign up for right now, it'll probably be telling you to buy over the next couple days. And if price goes down even more, it's going to, keep doing it. And then it might, if price kind of goes back up, it'll probably turn off. And then when price kind of comes back down, it'll probably signal more buy orders. So we've got this first group right here. If price continues, it's probably going to last all the way through here. So like, maybe every day you can put in like $100, $1,000, $10, $1, like whatever it is. Like there's really no minimum. Like maybe on like whatever it is on Cash App, like maybe they have a minimum. So like, it doesn't really matter, like whatever you're comfortable with. Cause like, these are very personal decisions, like if you're going to have to like sell that Bitcoin quickly, like